Good morning, traders. Happy Tuesday. It's Jimmy Trades here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me this morning as we have a look at the charts today. Please remember to sub to the channel, like the video, turn on the notification icon, and also feel free to comment. Leave your comments. Let's have some discussion. Ask me some questions. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I really appreciate the support. It helps with the algorithm as well and gets my content out to more traders. And my objective with all this is to help others like I've been helped in my journey as well. Also remember, we've got plenty of news this week, so opportunity to expedite some evals, especially Friday with non-farm payroll. My funded futures, Apex, using code Jimmy will always get you the best discount. All right, let's jump over to the calendar. Here we go. So we have news today. So a higher probability day with some injection of volatility, and it's not until 10 a.m. So we'll be patient and we'll wait till after news today before we look for an opportunity. Remembering that commodities open at 9, indices open at 9:30. Also, just to note, I have seen a few questions around of late, particularly with time zone changes, daylight savings changes in other countries and whatnot. My personal recommendation, and keeping in mind I'm in Australia, keep your chart on UTC -4. That will always give you New York time. You just stick to the kill zones for New York time. Don't worry about what time it is in London. Don't worry about what time it is in any other country. Just have your chart set to UTC -4 and you can't go wrong. Stick to the kill zones and happy trading. All right, let's get over to the charts. Here we are on NQ, having a look at the daily. So we did have the bearish bias yesterday. We were moving from external, and what I'm looking at today is that we had this imbalance. We had this large opening gap, and price did just about fill that yesterday. And what we see today is price has filled that gap, sweeping previous day low. So I'm actually looking for potential long opportunities, and I'll be looking for price to see how it reacts to the 50% level of this wick, being Monday's wick high. So I'll be looking for price to potentially continue higher, as we've already moved from this imbalance, filled the gap and swept previous day low. So if we drop down to the hourly, let's clear these up. I don't know if anyone else uses the little indicators here, but I just find it a great way to always identify my bias. Potential change in the state of delivery here. Looking at this level, we have displacement. Through this level, and this is the first moment in time we get a change in trend. And we are currently respecting that as well. So I would happily see price dip as low as 50% of this order block, which we have reacted to. and we've respected it twice now. If we do start moving below and we close below that 50% level, then I'll start to consider my bias being incorrect. But for now, we are respecting that. We're respecting the bullish change in the state of delivery. So if I was going to project some potential target areas, we have our -2 to 2.5 aligned here with these highs. So nice target region there. Also low resistance liquidity. Let's go and have a look at ES. So we've got a similar story here on ES. Now, when I looked at the charts during Asia session this morning, I didn't screenshot it, but ES actually opened with no wick to the top side and was selling off. Once we filled this gap, my idea was price would come higher and the top of the candle or the body would then be the draw on liquidity. So it actually did come back up and sweep that liquidity. Price did move higher there. But we are moving from this imbalance. We've filled this gap. We've swept the previous day low. So again, for like NQ for ES, I'm actually going to anticipate price to move higher. So bullish for ES as well. So we haven't quite filled this gap, so that's something of interest there. So although we haven't quite filled this gap, and it was a little bit deceiving on the daily chart there, but obviously this is the close, the Friday close down here, whereas you're just seeing this gap here, or this part of this gap on the daily. Anyway, we haven't quite filled the gap, but we do have, I think we might even have SMT with NQ, we'll check that. But needless to say, we do also have a change in the state of delivery here for ES, currently being tested and respected. And also, I mean, it's just, look at all this chop, but we've got a lot of low resistance liquidity here as well. So I'll remain bullish on ES. I just wanted to also quickly look at NQ again, because I was looking earlier today, and something I did miss or not point out just now was we actually, we are actually moving from a bullish FVG on the daily here. Okay, so this candle's wick doesn't lap with this candle's wick. All right, so we do have this bullish FVG sitting in here that price is moving out of and respecting at the moment. Okay, let's move over to oil. So here on the daily, took a bit of a punt yesterday, didn't I? With that aggressive move, especially at the time that I do these videos, price was quite aggressively moving lower, but we have respected in terms of this buyer's wick here, this swing low currently. So you'd be looking for price. I do want to see this price, this gap filled. We know gaps like to be filled, so it's definitely a good draw. And there's virtually zero wick to the top side here of Monday's candle as well. So another strong draw liquidity. So let's go with bullish on oil, and let's drop to the hourly. Let's see what the hourly says. So there's our draw, there's our gap. So we have put in a hourly unicorn. So here's our breaker. Okay, and the low on this candle, 67.14, 67.14. Now they are equal lows, but you can use that as your swing point, okay, because it's equal lows. So you still do have an institutional swing point here and here. Then we have our sweep of liquidity, our stop hunt, and we displace through. We do have a small, it is a small FVG, but it is there, okay? There is an FVG present. Right in there, okay? And we have respected the breaker here as well, which is also our change in the state of delivery. So bullish change in the state of delivery, being respected. It did fall below, but we've come back through with a decisive close and tested that level, and we are reacting to that. So if I was to run my standard deviations off of this leg that swept liquidity, we get the -2 to 2.5 all the way up to the 4, just resting in this gap. So I'll be looking for bullish price action on oil today. Moving over to Euro futures. So price still moving from this swing low. First draw. If we get a close, decisive close above here, then I'd be looking for this internal as our next target. So bullish for Euro futures. Moving over to gold. And still working with gold bullish. So most recent information, gold moving from internal, looking for external, being what would be new all-time highs. So remaining bullish on gold. Have a look at Dixie now. So Dixie did sweep this high. So we have an external sweep. We also have this volume imbalance. We could look to target that area. So bearish for Dixie. I have been looking for this level as my target. But we are using the most recent information given to us, and that is a sweep of the high. So So we sweep a swing high, we look back for internal. Okay, let's have a quick look at YM. So sticking with bearish, we moved from, or moving from internal. So we're seeking external. Price, I'd be looking for price to reach higher. You can see that we haven't created a wick to the top side. So we have a drawn liquidity here plus previous day high. So I'll be looking for price to potentially move up before then continuing lower. We'll see how that plays out. Having a look at Russell now and moving from this bearish, excuse me, sorry about that, moving from this bearish FEG, and we have already swept previous day high as well. Only just, but we did. So looking for price to move lower. Okay. So from internal to external. Lastly, let's have a quick look at GU. GU's really sort of slowed down. It's just chopping sideways here. All we can do is continue to use the most recent information, which is price moving from this internal level here. And we'll be looking for price to reach to this high. So remaining bullish on GU. See if we can get some momentum and get that move higher. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember to sub to the channel. Please like the video and feel free to comment. Really enjoy the engagement. Remember, Apex and My Funded Futures, grab those evals using code Jimmy. We've got some expediting to do this week. I will be jumping on board that train. Hope to see you there. All right, guys, have a great day today. Bye for now.